Good afternoon, I'm Rhys Wicks with 2NURFM Hunter News. RSPCA officers are calling for anyone with information after a kangaroo carrying a baby joey was found shot with a sporting arrow on the grounds of Morisset Hospital. Residents are being urged to contact Hunter Wildlife Rescue if they see any similar incidents and to avoid caring for the animals themselves. The attack is the latest in a string of incidents, with a similar one occurring in Muswellbrook earlier this month. The Environmental Protection Authority is fining AGL Macquarie for an ammonia spill into Tinkers Creek near Muswellbrook. The $15,000 penalty comes after 50 to 100 litres of ammoniated water washed into a stormwater drain on April 9 and then passed through a licensed discharge point. EPA manager for the Hunter, Adam Gilligan, says the incident raises serious questions about the company's environmental controls.
AGL Macquarie reported to the EPA earlier this year that quantity of water containing ammonia had leaked into a drain and subsequently into a creek. And as a result of that incident, the EPA has issued a fine of $15,000 to them. In this case, the environmental impact was relatively low, but the concern for us was that the systems and processes to prevent and manage spills of this nature weren't adequate at the time.
Newcastle-bound Pacific National coal trains will soon be under Canadian control as the Brookfield Infrastructure Group announces its takeover. Pacific National's parent company Asciano has agreed to Brookfield's $12 billion deal pending approval from shareholders and regulators. 70% of the coal hauled into Newcastle arrives on Pacific National trains. The Transport Workers Union is seeking an urgent investigation of Sandgate-based freight company Crawford's Freight Lines following the deaths of 2 workers in the past 3 months. Last month, a 45-year-old man died after an alleged altercation with a co-worker, which follows another on-site death of a 47-year-old man in July after a tyre blew up on a forklift he was working on. Newcastle Union Secretary Mick Forbes says the company has received a number of complaints in recent times.
There's been varying examples that our members have given us, and that is, it ranges from forklifts being toppled over by trains while they're being loaded. There's been reports of excessive amounts of ammonium nitrate being stored on the yard without the appropriate licensing in past months.
Up to 14 tonnes of asbestos-contaminated material has been removed from Mile Creek in Dungog after it was washed during the April storm. Dungog Council has noted that asbestos was bonded, not the dangerous friable form, and came from destroyed houses in the area. Other debris, including vegetation and 6 vehicles, were also moved to the waste facility and landfill. New figures have come to light highlighting the state government has pocketed more than $30 million from selling Hunter properties in the past 4 years. 6 properties in total were sold, including the Glass House on Wharf Road, which went for $14.9 million. Wallsend MP Sonia Hornery says selling properties might bring further problems down the track.
I'm worried about the long-term benefits of this privatisation. Okay, there are short gains because we raise money, but in the long term, if we sell off assets that make us a profit, such as electricity, how does the community benefit in the long run? And that's what many people in the community are worried about, because once you sell it, you don't get that asset back.
Sport for our sponsor, Warners Bay Sports Club, Fishing Expo, September 13.
The Newcastle Knights will be looking to make it back-to-back wins when they travel to Amy Park to take on the Melbourne Storm next Monday night. The game marks the first time Newcastle have visited the southern capital since the tragic incident which ended the playing career of Alex McKinnon. Interim coach Danny Baderas says the team remains in good spirits despite a testing season.
I'm focusing on positives, and that's all I can do. The negatives are there for them to know about and have seen before, but what we're trying to do now is just keep on building towards the back end of the season. We've got 3 games left, and hopefully we can cause a few surprises there.
Newcastle heptathlete Sophie Stanwell says it won't be easy being a spectator for next week's World Track and Field Championships in Beijing. A run of injuries has forced Stanwell to sit the event out. Instead, her focus will be on training for next year's Olympic Games. And finally, Melbourne Cup winner Protectionist has been given the chance to stretch his legs at Broadmeadow Racecourse ahead of the Group 2 Chelmsford Stakes at Randwick next month. That's sport. I'm Jacinta Lee.
2NURFM News Time is 12:10.